A very pleasant good morning to everyone present out there. So finally, the detailed notification is out, and we have the all the pointers that we always needed to know. So there have been slight changes, and we'll be discussing those changes very quickly. Let everybody join in, and we will be discussing each and every pointer that is important before you get to know if you are eligible or not, right? So let everybody join in and we'll quickly have a look at all the important pointers from eligibility to pattern and also the syllabus. We'll also have a look at the syllabus. That's also very important, right? There have been slight changes there. So let us see what are the changes. We will take note of those changes. So very pleasant good morning to one and all again. I can see students have joined in now. We'll start in a minute. So yes, we did have the newspaper advertisement out and we knew what were the exam dates. But today we'll be having a look at other major pointers. Few of you who have been on the verge of deciding if you're eligible or not, this is going to be the time to decide because there have been a few changes in terms of the cutoff with respect to your age also, age criteria. So we will be seeing that as well, not to worry. Yes, percentage criteria we will be having a look at. Good morning, guys. I can see a few of you have joined in now. Yes, we will have a look at the percentage criteria. The age criteria, usually the cutoff date for age is 1st January, but this time they have moved it to 1st May. So let me explain that point to you as well. That's going to be equally important. Few of you must decide if you're eligible to appear or not. So that is also something which we will be focusing upon. Okay, so without further ado, I'm starting the discussion of the detailed notification and your friends can actually join in. So don't worry about that. Okay, just let me know if you can actually see the screen. Just give me a thumbs up if my screen is visible. Okay, so here let's have a look at the important dates out there. So we know this already, but we will have a relook at these dates that you can see on your screen. So I hope my screen is visible. Can any one of you just give me a heads up? Yes, I think my screen is visible. Fine. I'm just quickly scrolling through the important pointers and then you guys can take your cue. The first thing is the important dates out here. Fine. So if you talk about the dates, we very well know July 9th is going to be our phase 1 and July 30th is going to be our phase 2 examination, which consists of 3 papers. Now, this is for the generalist post that we are talking about. There are other posts as well. We have DEPR, we have DSIM posts, and the examination dates for it are different. So in case you come under this particular category wherein you're also applying for the specialist post, I would want you to see that it is July 16th and September 2nd, July 16th and August 19th, right? Okay, so we will not spend much time here. And one other important date that you guys need to note is when do the application forms end. Okay, so the last date is going to be June 9th 2023. So we do have 1 month to fill the application forms and do the payment, right? So please don't June. Okay, we are clear on the dates. Let's move on to the number of vacancies here, which is again an important information. First of all, for the generalist post, we do have 222 vacancies in total, which is again split based on the categories. Okay, general or unreserved category, SC, ST, OBC. We also have economically weaker section, which was introduced lately, right? So there are 222 vacancies in total. For DEPR, we have 38, and for DSIM, we have 31. Okay, nothing much here, just a quick info about it. Okay, there is one important line or one important information which I would want you guys to note. So, in case you fall under OBC category, OBC candidates here, If you're in the creamy layer, then obviously you are not entitled to OBC reservation. But if you are not in the creamy layer, then also you need to produce a certificate, right? Your OBC, which is non-creamy layer certificate. Now they have very well mentioned that this certificate that you are going to produce should be issued on or after April 1, 2023, and it should be before June 9, 2023. So please note this particular pointer. In case you are confused, you need to read this through again. It is regarding the OBC certificate that you need to produce to claim your reservation under OBC. So in case you're filling the form, they would ask you under which category are you filling the form? Is it the general category, OBC, SC, ST, economically weaker section? So you need to select the category of yours, right? So when you're selecting the category, be very careful, because if you don't know, if you don't have an OBC certificate or you will not be able to produce, then obviously your claim stands cancelled. So be very careful, and your certificate should be issued on or after April 1, 2023, but not later than the closing date of the application for the post. So till 9th of June, you have time. If it is after that, it is again not acceptable. If it is before 1st of April, it is not acceptable, right? The same thing goes for the economically weaker section. The same thing they have mentioned here, because you also have to produce income and asset certificate. You can have a look at it here. Income and asset certificate is something that you need to produce. Okay, and this also has this time period which I just showed you here. That is after April 1st, 2023, on or after, and before your June 9th, 2023, on or before the closing date. The same kind of thing that I saw for OBC is again reflected here for economically weaker sections, right? I hope you have understood this thing. This might seem a small point here, but it is very important for us to understand. Okay, let's move on with the other important pointers. Okay, this is more about the reservation aspect. Now, coming to eligibility, I would like to point out a very important point here, which talks about the age limit, right? See, most of the time, whenever the notification is out, even in the month of say April or May, we always saw that the cutoff date used to be January 1st, 2023. Right, and if it comes in the second half of the year, we usually saw it used to be 1st of July 2023, right? But what they have done this year is they have gone ahead and given it as May 1st, 2023. Now, let me read this first point for you, because many of you might be deciding right now if you're eligible or not. The first point is you must have attained the age of 21 years. Okay, so you should be 21 years old. If you're not 21, you're not eligible to apply. All right, that's the first pointer. And you should not have attained the age of 30 years on May 1st, 2023. So this is a very important point. If you have attained 30 years before May 1st, 2023, then you're not eligible. Let me give you an example. If your birthday falls in the month of April, and on that particular birthday you turned 30, then you're not eligible to apply for RBI Grade B, because the cutoff date is May 1st, 2023. Now, if your birthday falls in the month of June and you're turning 30 in the month of June 2023, you are eligible to apply, because the cutoff date is May 1, 2023. You still have 1 month to go before you turn 30, right? So this is a very important criteria. Please reread this criteria. In case there's a confusion, reach out to us. We'll help you out and tell you if you're eligible or not, but don't just fill the form. Okay, so this is one thing. Let's talk about the other relaxations in the eligibility criteria in terms of age. Okay, so this is again very simple, the same. We don't have major changes with respect to the eligibility. 3 years in case of OPC candidates. So these are the same things, you don't need to worry much about it. Okay, so again, if you fall under some other categories like ex-employees of banking institutions whose services have been terminated, then you have 5 years of extension. So I'll not be reading each and every extension here, because there are so many categories here and you need to find out which category you belong to. I'm just referring to the general ones here. Fine. Let's move down. The other thing is this particular point, that is the eighth point that you see on your screen, is very important. This is for those who have an experience as an officer in the scheduled commercial banks or public sector insurance companies or any other private, the public sector organizations. So here you do get a relaxation in the upper age limit. Okay, but that relaxation is related to the extent of number of completed years of such experience. So maximum 3 years of relaxation you can get above 30, but you should have that many years of experience excluding your probation period service. So if you have served 2 years of probation and you have served one more year, so your experience is counted as 1 year only. But if you have completed 2 years of probation and you have done, say, 3 years of service after that, then obviously you are eligible to get 3 years of relaxation. So your probation period is not going to be counted in your number of years of experience. Okay, let's move downwards here. Let's go to the other aspect. Fine. The next important eligibility criteria that we need to know is the educational qualification. Now, initially, we used to have 10th and 12th, all those things involved, but now we don't have 10th and 12th. Okay. At last 2-3 years, they have removed that particular criteria. So you can be a graduate in any discipline, but you need to have minimum of 60 percentage marks. Okay. I repeat, you need to have 60 percentage marks in your graduation. Fine. And if you belong to SC, ST persons with benchmark disabilities, this 60 percentage drops down to 50 percentage. Fine. One other thing you need to understand is if you belong to OBC category, if you belong to persons with benchmark disabilities, then also 60 percentage marks is the minimum marks. Okay, only SC, ST, PWBD, they have 50 percentage. Now this is for those who have done their graduation. What if you are a postgraduate? Then your eligibility criteria is different. You need to have 55 percentage marks. Okay, if you are a postgraduate, then you don't have to see your graduation marks. So don't look at your graduation marks. If you are a postgraduate, you can have a look at your post-graduation marks. Fine. So 55 percentage marks there minimum. And if you belong to the special category like SC, ST, PWBD, then obviously pass marks is something that they are required. Okay, they're asking from us. Fine. Now, other important thing I would like to tell you is right now in the educational qualification, they have clearly mentioned in the bracket as on May 1st, 2023. You can see this particular point as on May 1st, 2023. Now, the thing here is by this time, by if your final results are out, only then you will be eligible to apply it, because the minimum educational qualification says you need to have 60 percentage of marks in your graduation as on 1st of May 2023. So if you're still appearing for your examination and you don't know the result, you're not eligible, because as on May 1st, you would not have any percentage of marks that you have actually scored in your graduation. Right? I hope you're able to get these points, because these are very important. If you want to apply, you need to see if you're eligible. So we have seen the age criteria, right? And we have also seen the educational qualification criteria right now. Now, I'm not going to DEPR and DSIM criteria. I have just discussed the criteria for the generalist post as of now. Fine. Okay, the other thing that I would like to point out is we do have CGPA systems in some of the universities. Okay, so in your graduation, you don't have percentages, you are awarded CGPAs, right? So when you are awarded CGPAs, each university has their own definition criteria. If you don't have the conversion table, which every university usually provides, you can just inquire with your university. They can give you the conversion table of CGPA to percentage. They usually have it because many places you need to put in your scores in percentage. Okay, so at that point of time, they do have the conversion table available. You need to check with the admin department of your university. Fine. But if they say that they do not have, then they have the RBI notification itself mentions the conversion point scale here. So you can first refer to your university. just talk to them if they have the conversion table, because you want to apply, they'll understand that very easily. But if they say they don't have any such criteria and they usually go with CGPS, then you need to obviously come and check this table that they have given, right? So if you have above, if you have 6.75, then it is rounded off to 60 and not 70. If it is 6.25, it is not 60 percentage, it is 55 percentage. It's 5.75, it's 50 percentage. So you need to understand this conversion, and it is specifically important for those who have their CGPAs in 6 and 5, because then you need to decide if you're eligible to apply or not. Fine. Okay. Now, number of attempts is something which is again very important. So candidates who belong to general category, economically weaker sections, if you have appeared 6 times for phase 1, then you're not eligible to apply. But we don't have any such restrictions for SC, ST, OBC, persons with benchmark disabilities. You don't have any restriction on the number of attempts. Now, one thing I would like to clarify here is, if you have applied, that means if you have filled the application form but you did not go to the examination hall to attempt your phase 1 exam, then that particular attempt, it is not an attempt itself. It is just that you filled the form but you did not go to the examination hall, that's all. But if you have filled the form, you have gone to the examination hall, you have written the phase 1 examination, if you haven't qualified, that is also an attempt. If you're sitting for phase 1 exam, that is an attempt, right? So count this particular thing. If you have exhausted 6 attempts and you're not eligible to apply, provided you belong to general category or economically weaker section category. Okay. One other thing is the point number 5. See, usually we have a lot of queries wherein the students are, coming and asking if we we don't have any prior experience, and do we go ahead and apply? Will RBI consider us? Are we suitable for getting selected in RBI? So let me tell you the point number 5 that you see here. The bank actually encourages candidates with no prior experience to apply. So you have your answer. In case you are a fresher, you don't have any experience, that's okay. They have already mentioned that bank usually encourages candidates because you're trained once you're inside the organization. Fine. And one other thing, the scheme of examination, it's again, let me just take you there. The pattern is the same. They haven't made any changes in the pattern as such. You have phase 1, which is an objective type. Now, don't worry. Whenever the detailed notification is out, they never give the sectional division of how many marks or how many minutes are given for each section. But they usually mention the separate time will be allocated for each test. That means each section has sectional timing and sectional score cutoff. We know that, right? But this particular piece of information is usually the first time having a look at the detailed notification. This is how the structuring is. You have 200 marks of paper, 80 GA, 60 reasoning, English 30, quantitative aptitude 30, and you have time allocated. Okay. So this is how the pattern looks in case you are somebody who is new to this particular exam, because they don't mention in the detailed notification. This will come out in the information handout, and that comes out very late with the admit cards. Okay, and we don't have that much time to wait and see what is the actual pattern. Now, phase 1 is qualifying in nature. We all know that. Phase 2, we have a mix of objective and descriptive. Okay, so paper 1, ESI, no change, exactly the same pattern. 50% objective, 50% descriptive, totally 100 marks of paper, right? 30 marks given for objective questions, 90 marks given to write 4 descriptive answers. No changes here. Descriptive English, 3 questions, no changes here. General finance and management, same pattern as ESI, no changes here. Okay. And for the descriptive questions, this is something that you need to have a look at. There'll be 30 objective questions, 50 marks. Okay. Some questions would carry 2 marks, some would carry 1 mark. Descriptive question, 4 questions you need to attempt. 2 will be 15 markers and 2 will be 10 markers. Right? You will have a choice of 1 question extra in each of these categories. So don't worry. Fine. Okay. Interview, again, it's for 75 marks. This was a change which was made last year, wherein it was just 50 and they made it 75. They have retained the same 75 mark this year as well. So again, it's very evident here that the pattern has not seen any changes. So that's a good thing for us, right? Because we have limited time with us now. Now let's quickly move to the syllabus. Two pointers here, friends. Firstly, in social structure in India, they have removed few topics. They've removed few topics, but you don't need to worry about. This is the last year's notification, 2022. So if you see in the ESI part, they have removed these topics here. Okay, so that was anyways something which they never used to ask much, so you don't need to worry about it. Okay, so let's not focus here. If you come to the finance section, that is where they have made some changes. If you see 4, 5, 6, 7, they have added new topics. They have removed changing landscape in the banking sector. They have added NABFID here. If you see, these are financial institutions. We have SIDBI, we have Exim Bank, we have Nabard, we have NHB. They've added NABFID here. Okay, so this is one new thing. These topics are here. Instead of fintech, they have added this topic. So more or less it is the same. But yeah, 4, 5, 6, 7 are restructured here. Come back to this general topics. This is where you need to see the change, because what they have done is this eighth point they have added new. This is very important. They have added a new section here in the general topics. This is related to the commerce and accountancy section of SEBI, wherein you have profit and loss, you have balance sheet, cash flow statements, ratio analysis. So this is something which is related to SEBI, the commerce and accountancy basics, which we have studied. So they have included this here, right? And here also e-governance part they have removed. Corporate governance in banking sector and e-governance also was mentioned here in the last year's notification. That is not there, but that's a very small change. But this is a very significant change because they've included few important topics. And honestly, when you study finance, these are some few topics that you need to know. Okay, so these are the things here. And one other thing, let me just quickly check if we have anything else to mention here. Okay, let me just check one other thing here quickly. Okay, we also have a discretion here that once you're selected in RBI, okay, though you have a probation of 2 years. So at bank's discretion, this probationary period may be extended up to a maximum period of 4 years. So don't worry, it's something which is internally after you get selected. So all in all, let me just quickly wrap this up for you. Firstly, what do we have a look at? Important dates. The application forms are open and you can fill the form, make the payment till 9th of June 2023. So you have exactly 1 month that they have given us. We can see the exam dates here on your screen, right? That's very clear here. When we move down, one other important thing that we saw was the categorization in terms of number of vacancies. Now, if you talk about vacancies, it's very important you know that there are categorization based on which category you are, like unreserved or SC/ST, right? Now, if you belong to the OBC category, if you're in the creamy layer, you cannot claim reservation under OBC and you need to fill the form under the general list, general category. But if you are claiming your OBC reservation, then you need to produce your OBC certificate. But that certificate should have been issued on or after April 1st, 2023 and on or before June 9, 2023, which is the closing date of the application form. So the same thing applies for economically weaker sections. You also need to produce the proof which is issued within the same time period, right? And the other thing that we actually saw quickly was the eligibility criteria. One very major change is being the cutoff, the date. Usually it used to be 1st of Jan 2023, but now it's May 1st, 2023. So if you have attained the age of 30 by this time, then you're not eligible to apply. Okay, if let me give you a very simple example. If you are having your birthday on 2nd of May 2023 and you have attained the age of 30 on May 2nd, 2023, you are eligible to apply because till May 1st, you're not 30. You're still counted as being 29. So you should not have attained the age of 30 years on May 1st, 2023. So anybody who's in this dilemma that this year they are turning 30, you need to check your birthday. That is important. If your birthday falls after May 1st, then you are safe. But if it falls before that, then obviously you stand to be non-eligible to apply this year. Then in fact, non-eligible for RBI, right? The upper age limit relaxations are the same, 5 for SC/ST, right? 3 for OBC. So I'm not going deep into it. We have already seen educational criteria. We quickly had a look at if you're a graduate, 60 percentage. If you're a postgrad, 55. Also, if you have received your result as on May 1st, then only you are eligible to apply, because then you know your percentage, right? So these are the important piece of information. If you have CGPAs awarded, you need to find the conversion table internally from your university. If you don't have, use this particular conversion table. Okay. And I think finally we did have a look quickly at the pattern, which is the same. The syllabus saw a few changes in the finance section, wherein few topics have been added, and specifically a topic related to the commerce and accountancy section has been added. That is something which we need to work on, because we'll have questions from that, right? Okay, guys, so this is it when it comes to explaining the notification in detail. I would want each one of you to be sure about the notification, be sure about each and every point, because only then it makes sense to apply here. Okay, fine. Let me just see if there are some questions. I think I have one of you have written, I've completed graduation with 8 percentage but completed LLB with 68. Abhishek, you are eligible to apply since you have a postgrad with 68 percentage. No worries. If you are a postgrad, then what they do is they will take your highest qualification. So there you just need 55 percentage. You have 68. So you're eligible to apply. ओके शिवम सेज बीएससी के बाद बैचलर ऑफ एजुकेशन को किस कैटेगरी में काउंट करेंगे, पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट और ओनली ग्रेजुएशन? So Shivam, we also need to inquire about this particular point. I don't want to give away anything which is I'm not very sure about this. So we need to check back. If you can just drop a comment there under this particular session, we will get back and reply in the same comment. Okay. Anybody else asking for eligibility? Abhishek, you can go ahead and apply. No issues from your end. Anything else, guys, you want to ask me? Just quickly put your questions there and then I will take your leave. I would want you guys to make sure you are applying it right away. At least take a day or two and apply, decide, and then start your preparation if you haven't started yet. We have 2 months to go. There's a lot of time. Okay. Fine, guys. Thank you so much. And soon we'll be coming out with the preparation strategy as well, wherein we will discuss in depth as to how do we need to proceed. Okay. Thank you so much.